The long and fraught relationship between India and Pakistan hangs over South Asia like a persistent storm cloud. Today, on November 12, 2025, the world watches with renewed concern. Recent military maneuvers, increasingly harsh political rhetoric, have once again brought the spectre of armed conflict to the forefront of international security discussions. The latest flashpoint, stemming from the May 2025 skirmishes along the line of control and the subsequent suspension of talks related to the Indus Waters Treaty, has created a deeply unstable environment. This situation is not just a regional dispute, it is a global concern of the highest order. The reason is simple and stark. Both India and Pakistan are nuclear-armed states. To comprehend the present tensions, one must first understand the past. The roots are buried in the violent partition of British India in 1947, the creation of a Muslim-majority Pakistan and a secular Hindu-majority India. It was not a peaceful separation, unleashing communal violence that killed up to 2 million and displaced more than 15 million. The unresolved dispute over Jammu and Kashmir became the immediate centerpiece. Wars in 47-48 and 1965 hardened animosity. 1971 reshaped the region, a profound humiliation for Pakistan's military. Each war reinforced narratives of betrayal and aggression. Kargil in 1999, after nuclear tests, proved deterrence didn't prevent conventional clashes. The stability-instability paradox took root. 2019 shattered assumptions. Strikes, a downed jet, red lines blurred, a single spark can spiral. The military balances numbers, technology, doctrine, overshadowed by the nuclear dimension. India fields about 1.4 million active personnel, far more than Pakistan's approximately 650,000, backed by a larger budget and diverse suppliers. Pakistan counters with agility. Offensive defense, professional and combat-hardened forces, domestic industry and ties with China. Both are believed to possess roughly 160 to 170 nuclear warheads each. India's no first use has caveats. Pakistan reserves first use to deter a deep conventional incursion. Second strike capabilities mean even a surprise attack invites devastating retaliation. A limited exchange, around 100 weapons, could trigger climate catastrophe and mass starvation. Tactical short-range nukes, especially Pakistan's, lower thresholds and make the balance fragile. That horror is why full-scale war is unlikely, yet missteps at lower levels can be perilous. Understanding the likelihood of war demands a sober look at history, deterrence logic, leadership psychology, and the risk of accidents or miscalculations. A deliberate, pre-planned war seems improbable, but a conflict sparked by miscalculation is terrifyingly plausible. Speed, mistrust, incomplete intelligence, and emotion compress decisions. A small clash could be misread as the opening move of a larger offensive. Each side's defense appears offense to the other. Terrorist attacks have been primary crisis triggers. Mumbai 2008, Pulwama 2019. Punitive Indian strikes to deter can be read as acts of war, compelling retaliation. Action and reaction can spiral beyond control. High-speed weapons and armed drones shorten timelines. Minutes to judge if a missile is conventional or nuclear, what it targets, and to respond. Cyber disruption of command and control could mimic a decapitation strike and prompt preemption based on faulty data. Pakistan's battlefield use concept may meet India's strategic retaliation. Any nuclear use could cross the ultimate red line. Decisions for war and peace are shaped by domestic politics. Public opinion and media narratives can demand strength and punish restraint. Leaders may adopt hawkish stances amid electoral pressures. Pakistan's military wields decisive influence. In India, civilian control prevails, but military counsel carries weight. Economic stress can tempt risk. Growth incentives foster restraint. Leaders' beliefs, risk tolerance, and advisors shape crisis choices. Some seek off-ramps, others test resolve. The fate of millions can hinge on a small group's decisions in a high-stakes moment. Well, the risks are real and the consequences are enormous. The stakes are not abstract. They are human. Diplomacy and hotlines once served as safety nets. Mechanisms let commanders clarify intent and de-escalate. Forums helped manage tensions before boiling points. In 2025, many threads have snapped, talks suspended, exchanges wither, suspicion grows in silence. Even the Indus Waters Treaty, long a constant, is under pressure. External mediators are less certain. US bandwidth is stretched. China's role is complicated. A vacuum may emerge when needed most. Yet narrow avenues remain. DGMO calls, Track 2, and technical cooperation on shared challenges. Reviving diplomacy isn't weakness. It's urgent risk reduction. A deliberate, full-scale conventional war remains low probability. The primary deterrent is the mutually understood reality of nuclear annihilation. No rational leader would choose a path towards societal devastation. Yet the risk of limited conflict is real. Another crisis like 2019 is a moderate to high probability. The danger is not intent, but an uncontrolled spiral. War is not inevitability, it is a failure of policy. First, restore and routinely use military and political communication lines. Normalize DGMO calls, quietly rebuild back channels. Second, reinforce CBMs on land, at sea, and in the air. Third, tone down rhetoric. Fourth, employ neutral facilitators. Focus on water, trade, and people-to-people ties.